going on there, Dice Rollers? Paul here, and I'll be your DM for a while. I am so glad to be back with you after a 2-week stint of nothing but work and other things that are going on that are interrupting my passion for role-playing games. Now, today I bring to you a special video on a Kickstarter that I backed not too long ago, and it is called Venture Maidens. It is a campaign guide. It is written by Celeste Konowich and produced by 2C Gaming. It is material based on their live stream, and you can find more information at venturemaidens.com. Now, this is not a thing where I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. This is just me bringing to you some cool dynamics that are found within this resource. It's going to help you at your game table. Now, before I jump into this, if you are brand new here to the channel, thank you so much for being here. If you would like to be part of this community, and I hope that you do, go ahead and click that subscribe button down there, and you'll get videos like this on a regular basis. So let's go ahead and jump into Venture Maidens campaign guide, and we're going to go down to the table of contents. So let's check out table of contents. And there's lots to be had in here. There's lots of good stuff in here. Like I said, I'm going to focus on the dynamic that I think is going to help with storytelling and with gameplay, and that is called Heroic Destinies, and lots of other good stuff in here. So we'll kind of go through the table of contents so you can kind of see what's in here. And if you want to hear more about some of these other items that are in here, please let me know down in the comments, and maybe we can revisit it and look at some of the backgrounds or subclasses that we have here. Now you can see some of the backgrounds. We have Dabbler, the Farrier, the Fortune Teller, the Harlequin, the Herbalist, the Judge, the Reluctant Successor, the Wilds Survivor. Then we have the subclasses. That's the Barbarian, Path of Legacy, Bard, College of Bells, Cleric, Fate Domain, Druid, Circle of the Grove, Fighter, Legionnaire archetype, Monk, Way of the Chronicle, Paladin, Oath of Blood, Ranger, Fringe Warden archetype, Rogue, Covert Operative archetype, Sorcerer, Wildheart Sorcerer Origin, Warlock, Titan, Otherworldly Patron, and Wizard, School of Kinetomancy. And this whole thing takes place, by the way, I meant to say, in the Feywild. And so it is this struggle between the Prime Material Plane and the Feywild. So, but once again, you can use these anywhere, but I think what makes doing it in the Feywild is that there's that Fey magic, there's that crazy wild magic going on, there's portals opening up, there's all kinds of craziness going on there. And so I think using in the Feywild is good, but like I said, use it wherever you want to use it. You can use these anywhere. So those are some of the subclasses there. Then you have the Heroic Destinies, which we'll jump into. You have some facts on the mortal realm and some of the things that are going on there. There's a map in here I'll show you here in just a second that has all these things from the mortal realm in it, and you can kind of see where they're at. Then it gives you the fairy realm, and I love the court hierarchy. This resource is really well fleshed out, and is really a fun little resource to have if you want to go jamming along in the Feywild. It has all the courts. You see building adventures in the plains. There's faction-based adventures, adventure themes. There's traveling the realms. Let's see, there's all kinds of treasures that are going on there that you can have. Magic rewards, friends and foes. It gives you the templates to kind of make your own villains and so forth, and NPC friends. Then you have the native bestiary filled with all kinds of things that you can use in other games as well. Then you have down below, you have the NPC wanted, demigods, you have chess, stat block. These are, by the way, these here, chess, rem, are NPCs. And then the actual venture maidens have their pre-gen characters, basically. They're stat blocks, so you can, I like it just because anytime you're going to give me pre-gens, I'm in. Right? Give me all the pre-gens I need. So having those is super valuable. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into what I want to talk about today. And what's going to help you at your table is these Heroic Destinies, which is found on page 42. So let's go ahead and jump to page 42. And I'm only going to talk about one of these today because the model is the same for each of them in the sense of the tiers and what you're looking for. But the Heroic Destinies, here, as you can see, is the Avenger, the celebrity, the explorer, the fortune seeker, the immortal, the scholar, the symbiosis, the teacher, the virtuoso, and the wielder. And today we're going to look at the Avenger. So let's go to the Heroic Destinies. And what it does is it gives you a story arc. If your characters want a story arc, now I know there's all the murder hobos out there. The guys that I play with on Friday nights, my old high school buddies who I grew up playing D&D with. I run games for them, and they're not much for story arcs. They just say, "Look, what's the next thing we got to kill? All right, let's go there." But I like to DM story arcs. I like starting out from like level 0 and going to level 20. I like all that kind of stuff. I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, I can do both. I can do the hobo adventures. That's fine for my friends, but I also have to make room in my schedule to play games where the depth of the adventure, where we care about our characters. It says Heroic Destinies right here. It says Heroic Destinies are an optional rules expansion. So before you decide to use the system, you must agree as a gaming group to do so. Both DMs and players need to buy into the rule set for it to work. Once your group agrees to use Heroic Destinies, you can work together to choose destinies for your characters. And when you select a Heroic Destiny for your character, run it by the DM and ask if they think that destiny in particular fits into the scope of the campaign. Conversation back and forth is critical to explain what you want for your character. After all, by choosing a Heroic Destiny, you are answering questions about what you want for your character's future, an exercise demanding thoughtful consideration. The flavor of a Heroic Destiny is ultimately up to each player to decide, and the more you communicate about your ideas, the easier it is for the DM to present opportunities for milestones. Once the players have chosen the Heroic Destinies, it is up to the DM to make sure there are opportunities for each player to achieve the milestones they need to progress through the tiers. Now, the tiers, you can see there's Tier 1, which is level 1 through 4. There's level Tier 2, 5 through 10, 3, 11 through 16, and 17 through 20. And once again, this makes my job easier, I think, as a DM, story-wise, because I know what to build into the adventure then. I know that if a character takes a story arc and a Heroic Destiny, that there's going to be these little plot points and these story beats throughout the adventure that I know I want to put in. So it's not so completely random or anything like that. But when you're working together with your players, which I believe in that, and collaborating, like, what would you like to do? I recently had an adventure where I worked with a player to change characters in the middle of the game, which was fine with me. And it worked out really well. So collaboration is a key element, I think, in DMing at your table. So it goes in 4 tiers. And like I said, we're going to look at the Avenger here, the Heroic Destiny Avenger. And I like what they have here because the Avenger has to avenge something, right? I can't help but think of the Avengers. So if I laugh out loud for some reason, I'm probably thinking of Iron Man and others. I mean, you could be able, if everybody chooses to play the Avenger Heroic Destiny, why aren't you called the Avengers? It's really simple, right? And you can take on the archetypes from that. What Celeste here, she has these safely role-playing tragedy. Of course, you don't want to force people into things that are going to be traumatic for them. I would recommend for my players we don't want you dipping into your own personal tragedies, things of that nature. This is a fantasy game. You can make something up for your character. It could be anything. It could be a dragon came and destroyed half the town and it took some of my family and friends. Or maybe you're a prince or a princess and you've been dethroned through treachery and lies and traitors. And so you got to get back at all those people who are a part of that scam to get you. And so, once again, it's work together with your players. If they want to play this, just make sure you're being careful with their hearts. Avenger features. A character who has chosen the Avenging Heroic Destiny gains the following features. So there are prerequisites. To embark on this Heroic Destiny, you must experience an event that leads to suffering at the hands of another. This event can be any impactful incident from your past or something that occurs at any point in your adventure. Perhaps you had a precious heirloom stolen from you, or you were framed for a crime you didn't commit. Maybe you lost your home or loved one to a force you were unable to fight. Whatever your tragedy, it must be caused by some imposing entity that can potentially be vanquished or defeated, such as a dark empire or a rival, and not an abstract law of reality such as decay or death. Work with your DM to construct the nature of this event and the best way to tie this malignant entity into the overarching adventure. That pretty much sums up what you're looking for, right? And I also would say that if you want to role play what happened in like a flashback element, I think that might be okay, where the player through their character tells the story. Maybe they're sitting around a campfire and everybody kind of shares their heroic destiny. And when the Avenger speaks, they're saying, they can communicate then, what they're really out to do. And gives them an opportunity to give backstory to the other players that are in the game, and they can obviously help one another too. Maybe they want to help each other join each other's heroic destinies to help them accomplish those things as a form of solidarity. Now they have the tier milestones that I mentioned earlier, 1 through 4, based on levels. And the following are examples of possible tier milestones for the Avenger Heroic Destiny. And I like these, and I would use these as a template and say, look, number 1, declaring a vow of vengeance in front of a deity, your compatriots, on the face of your imposing force. Once again, if you're around the campfire and everybody's sharing their story, their heroic destiny, what they think they're shooting for, well, then why not? They can declare right there that they're going to step out and make it their life's mission that these people should pay for whatever it is they did. Then you have sacrificing something you hold dear to get justice for a stranger. That's going to be another tier. And then standing up to impossible odds to prevent your imposing force from escaping your wrath, and then gaining vengeance or finding peace with your imposing force. So these are all really great. Like I said, it's a template. You can make up your own. I like these because once again, why I don't want to work harder. If they're going to give me the tools to do this, then I that's what I want. I want to be able to put it into play and just kind of plug it in and kind of let it happen. So tier 1 features. Once you have done this, when you have successfully embarked on your heroic destiny, you gain the following benefits as an Avenger. It says you are hyper-focused. It says seething passion. You are hyper-focused on seeking vengeance against foes who must be punished. Each dawn, you can magically mark one creature you have met at any point in your past, no action required by you, for the next 24 hours. You gain the following benefits. And I know that sounds wild, but remember, you're in the Fae. If you're in the Fae world, things like this can happen. You know the direction, the distance to the marked creature as long as it is on the same plane or realm of existence. If the creature is on a different plane, you know which one, but not the exact location. This benefit ceases to function if the creature is affected by the non-detection spell or similar effects that conceal the target from divination magic. You gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus when you end your turn within 30 feet of the marked creature. You have advantage on charisma-based checks made to gather information about that marked creature. And then the heroic destiny benefit there is when you take damage from a creature you can see, you can use your reaction to seek payback against it. When you choose to do so, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. Your movement speed increases by 10 feet. You can add 1d4 to any ability check or attack roll you make against that creature. This increases to 1d6 when you reach tier 2, 1d8 when you reach tier 3. If the targeted creature drops to 0 hit points before the minute is up, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn of yours to seek payback against a new creature. You can use this feature a number of times per day, equal to the number of tiers you have in the Avenger Heroic Destiny. Now, that being said, there's different levels in this tier milestone. There's levels. I see this as levels that you can go through. So, example, if maybe you were deposed as let's take the prince or princess or royalty, and you were dethroned and your kingdom was taken away. So maybe you have, first of all, if you start at the bottom, like there's the money man. Right? Who are all the people involved? If you think of any good revenge story, like Kill Bill, right? She goes after everybody. She goes after every every head of every little organization. Everybody's got to pay. Everybody that was at that event, at that wedding, everybody was there. They have to pay. So she goes after those people, and it follows this logical course here. And so then I would say, listen, if you were deposed, well, maybe somebody offered a bribe. There's a money man that you have to go after. There's a idle fool. There's somebody who knew but didn't say anything. Or maybe there's the actual traitor who actually kind of pulls the trigger on this, and maybe assassinated the king, or created the opportunity for that royal entity to die in battle somehow. And then eventually you have the big bad, which is the person who actually gets to be in power. And so when somebody's doing the Avenger line, why not give them, the 4 or 5 different people, the people they want to mark, like when it's talking about marking that creature, have them start with the lowest person that they can find. Maybe it's the money person, or the idle fool, or the traitor, and kind of build anticipation to where they work up to the big bad, and have an epic conclusion where they have to be able to face them. Then you get to tier 2. When you reach tier 2 of your heroic destiny, you gain the following benefits. Heroic destiny benefit, Path of Pathos. You've started to fight for those who were wronged, like you. When an ally takes damage from a creature you can see, you can use your reaction to make one weapon attack against the creature, or move up to your speed towards the creature without provoking opportunities of attack. So, your character then, the player's character, identifies with people of that kingdom, right? So that's kind of the plug in there, where now you're fighting not just for yourself, but you're fighting for the people of your kingdom, because now maybe the tyranny of that new king, and that king is just oppressing that kingdom. Well, you're not just fighting for yourself anymore. You're fighting for the people of your kingdom as well. Tier 3. When you reach tier 3 of your heroic destiny, you gain the following benefits. Heroic destiny benefits, Fury Storm. You can now activate your payback ability against a creature you can see targeting an ally, as if it was targeting you. While the ability is active, you can change the target of your payback feature once per turn, no action required by you. And then tier 4 features. When you reach tier 4, which is the upper levels of your heroic destiny, you gain the following benefits. Heroic destiny benefit, Grave Resolve. When you or an ally can see is reduced to 0 points but not killed outright, you can choose to enter a state of resolve. When you enter this state, any conditions affecting you end, and you can immediately expend any number of hit dice to recover hit points. Additionally, you have resistance to all damage until the start of your next turn. When you're in this last big battle, I kind of see this exhausted figure that's maybe fighting at the very end here, and they have expended all their energy. Well, it's a good time then to get that hit dice recovery, and you start then to resolve that you're nearing the end of your vengeance, and then the last thing here, it says complete. It says go in peace. The benefit is completing this heroic destiny means your quest for vengeance has ended, and finally you can lay down your sword. At any point while you live, you can choose to lay down your sword, marking an end to your bloody quest. When you make this choice willingly, without coercion of any kind, you lose all features and benefits of this heroic destiny. In exchange, a powerful force or being rewards you by magically restoring whatever it was that was taken from you that caused you to seek vengeance in the first place. Work with your DM to determine the nature of this reward, but anything you could be granted by powerful magic like the wish spell is certainly within reach, which I think is a great epic ending. And maybe that would be, maybe an appearance. Think Star Wars, when Luke, sees, Obi-Wan in his ghostly figure, and there's this reward, this where they're all standing there, all the Yoda and others, where maybe the player, the character gets to see his family, maybe that was taken away or killed, and sees them one last time, which would be kind of a great reward. So those are all really cool benefits. There are all kinds of great things you can use there. And I would love to hear from you, though. What do you think about this heroic destiny system? I like it. I think it gives players an opportunity, those that want to really get their character some depth, follow a story arc, and I think it also gives the DM the benefit of building in these great storylines into an adventure. But I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Leave me some comments down below. And if you like this video, be sure to go ahead and click the thumbs up button. That lets me know you like the video and you want more of them. And I have some more videos coming your way. I feel this surge of energy to make videos, so be ready. There'll be quite a few coming at you in the next week or so, including my 2023 RPG goals that I'd like to share with you, so don't miss that. That's it for today, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.